back.
Coach, remembering that back to the first day of practice, I remember you saying that how much you love to prepare to win, how much you love to win, and just practice and all that stuff. Does that make this one of the toughest days of the year for you?
Absolutely, Mark. I mean, this is a very tough time of year, you know, when you lose your last game, and only one team doesn't do that. And but I'm very proud of our team, very proud of what we got ahead of us, proud of how we battled. We've worked hard all year long. We've been in a lot of games like this. We've garnered 40 wins against the fifth toughest schedule this year. We've had 16 wins out of our freshman pitchers, which gives us something to look forward to. Almost half our games against NCAA tournament teams. We've beaten 5 of the teams that have been in the that are hosting regionals. We've played a tough schedule, and it's been a grind. And learning experience with our young players. These two guys embody what we have for the future. Garrett Bower was a warrior for us this year. We had one of our catchers go down, and he's caught virtually every single game during the course of the year, almost every inning, and that is a tough thing for somebody to do, and he's done a great job for us, and he battles, he grinds it out, and he's going to get some rest. It's a little earlier than we wanted it to, and then he's going to be a really good player for us. And then Stephen Duggar is got a great future as a freshman, along with our other freshmen. You know, first game we played the other night, we had 7 guys on the field that were brand new, had never been in a regional. 6 of them were freshmen that started for us. So I've got to feel good about that, and I choose to, once I get past today, I'm going to choose to look at this as a really positive year and a positive future, and those real positive Clemson people that we have, I hope we're feeling really good about what we got ahead of us, and I think that's how I'm going to choose to look at it. It's difficult to end for sure. I go into that PSD that I talk about every year, that postseason depression deal for a couple weeks. It's very difficult. We'll start preparing for next year, and we'll get back and hopefully win a game or 2 more and play in front of our people and get ourselves in a little bit better situation, for a little better ending.
Chelsea?
Jack, you mentioned all the positives. Does it make this ending any easier to swallow than maybe other years, just because this team is so young and has obviously such a bright future?
Well, I mean, that's the positive part of it. The tough part of it is it's over, and you spend, every day after the last part of last season, the next day, tomorrow, we'll start preparing for next year, start thinking about next year, what we have to do, and meet with the players and figure out what we got to do to get better. So there's a lot of preparation that goes into getting where we are now, so it's always disappointing. The good part is I feel really good about what we got coming in and what we got coming back, and how hard we practice and how hard we prepared to win this year. And like I said, we've been in a lot of grinding, tough ball games, and the conference is very tough this year. Probably the best I've seen it since I've been coaching in it, and made every weekend a grind. And 1 or 2 more games here and there, maybe 1 more game here and there. We might have been playing at home, which might have helped us a little bit, but we made our own bed, and we played hard, and that's something I'm going to be proud of. These kids always represent Clemson. They always represent college baseball well. They handle themselves always well, and proud to be their coach. And I'm hoping that they're proud that I'm their coach, and I think that's the way we work. And so we'll be back at it again next year.
Jack, can you kind of go over how you saw that weird 4th inning double play, and what explanation did you get from the umps?
I thought it was a short hop. I thought he trapped the ball. The unfortunate part of it, with 1 out, we've been on 2nd and 3rd. We were going on down angle contact, and if we're out at the plate, no big deal. We're going to run down. We end up with men on 1st and 3rd or 2nd and 3rd anyway, but we're making them make the toughest play in baseball. The unwritten part of it is, if it's a short hop, you treat it as a line drive, and we just got caught in between there and caught in the middle, and he thought it hit the ground. I thought it hit the ground, so I thought we were okay. We still got men on 2nd and 3rd or 1st and 3rd with 2 outs now, so it's really not that big a deal. The problem was that we had men on second and third with nobody out, and we had to score. And we had a line drive. You know, they took a chance and brought the infield in, which I don't think I would have done, because the ball goes through. Now you got you got 2 runs scoring with nobody out. And it just happened we hit a line drive right at the second baseman, and then we hit a hit a one-hopper or whatever it was to the second baseman, which is unfortunate. We get the ball to the outfield, we break the ice a little bit, maybe score a couple runs, and a whole different complexion of the game. But we built some innings today. We just couldn't finish them off.
Jack, the guys touched on it a second about not getting the critical hits at the right times. Over the last maybe week and a half, 8 games or so, did you see anything different in their approach at the plate, or was it just that hits that were falling earlier in the year weren't over the last 8 games?
It's really, I really think if you had to pinpoint one thing during the course of the year, that was probably our Achilles heel. We had men on base. We probably hit as well as every team we played and had about the same amount of hits all the time. We just had a little trouble coming up with the big hit with 2 outs or the big hit with men on base. We had some of the weirdest things happen, but I'm hoping that this game evens out at some point, because kids work too hard. They play, they practice. We know what we got to do all the time. They were loose coming in the tournament. They were relaxed coming in the tournament. Nobody was tight. Nobody was pressing. We just, they played a better game than we did the first day. Deserved to win, and then played a good game yesterday and played a good game today. Just wasn't quite good enough.
First time you've seen the Flames in 13 years. You see them twice this weekend. What were your impressions of Liberty, and what made Lambert so tough today?
He made some big pitches when he had to, and he threw his off speed, threw his change up when he had to, and threw a breaking ball in a couple crucial situations, which made his fastball look a little bit better. He competed for him. Didn't throw many, 2 strikes, and so he didn't give us many opportunities past that. When we did go an inning, he pitched out of it, and had a couple defensive plays that made a difference. And so, as far as their team overall, they did a good job. They look like a good team. I remember reading in the paper way back at the beginning of the season when they came down here to South Carolina, and one of the quotes in the paper when they won one of the games down here was that looks like a regional team to me. I remember reading it, and it stuck in my head all season long. And they truly were a team worthy of being here. Got some older players, got some strong hitters, and the kids did a good job pitching. So it was a good battle, and they got something going up there, and you got to respect the job that they did.
Garrett talked about fixing the runners and scoring position hitting for next year. When situational hitting is a season-long thing, how do you fix that when it's not just one day here, one day there?
Just gotta have players that step up. It's simple as that. I think that's it. We got some really good players, and I guess we just got to get a little bit better, get a little more seasoned, get a little more experienced. We work on it every single day. We know what we got to do, but getting big hits in big situations is why they pay those guys, RBI guys in the big leagues. That's why they pay them money. Those are the guys that do it for you, that can relax and take care of their business. That's why you pay a closer, because he's got to come in clutch situations to do his thing. And so I think it's just getting a little more seasoned, getting a little more experience, and more confidence going. And we got some big hits during the course of the year. Anytime you win 40 games and play the schedule we did and do a lot of good things, we got some big hits along the way. I'm not saying we never got any big hits. It just seemed like lately it was magnified for some reason. It just seemed to be a little bit more magnified the last 5-6 games. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to sit here and dwell on the negative, losing the last whatever games in a row. We've played some very tough games, been in some very tough games lately. So I'm not inclined to try to talk about that all that much, as I'd like to think about the whole body of work and what we got ahead of us, and and where we're going from here.
Mark?
With so many young players on this squad and